Hello, and welcome to another Sulli's Side Quest. My name is Tyler, aka Sulli, and every day we go on a Minecraft quest. We're going to play 20 minutes every day of some Minecraft, and so today is no different. I'm so excited. We are kind of in a cave. Yesterday we got so much copper, and today we're going to head up. And so I've been heading up right now. Currently just found all of these diamonds as I was going on my way. But I have some plans, so we're going to try to get back to the surface and get started. I mean, going for a trip and getting diamonds is super cool. A little bit of a heads up today. Instead of having a 20-minute countdown, I am going to record 20 minutes of footage and all the highlights during that time. So let's get to it. Let's get back to the service. I hope you guys are doing well this morning. What is this? Is this the fortress? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. This is another trial chamber. Are you serious? We have one like right underneath our house. What? This is insane. Honeycomb? I don't know if I have enough room for any of this. Dude, this is insane. I don't know if we can do any of this now, but I would like to in the future. What? I might have to just run. Oh, wow. A slime. Does this mean that you always get slime from this? Because this would be a great way to... I might even slime in the future. Yo, this is crazy. There's a trial chamber literally right underneath the house. Okay, there's a key. Might as well try it, right? See what we get. Let's kill all these slimes. Accidentally just created a thing. These are the poisonous ones. I think they hurt. Die, boy! Do I get a key now? Or did one drop? Do I have to kill the one that drops? I hear something. Where you at? Oh, look at that! What? Guster. Omen bottles. We're gonna have to come back down here and make this an episode, because this is sick. Right underneath our base is crazy. All right, where is the like actual thing? I'm gonna see if I can find the actual way to open, or like the big thing to put a key in, because I have one key. Okay, I think I found it. Let's see what we get. What we got? A banner, an omen bottle. Okay, that's cool. All right, back up we go. Back up to Eden. That's crazy. Finding a trial chamber this close. Oh my gosh, look how creepy that guy is. I think he followed me from the trial chamber. Look at that dude. Looks like super creepy from this angle. Yo, bro. Yo, bro. Oh my gosh, his eyes are so creepy. The farther I come up, the farther he comes up. Look, he's scared. He's stalking me. It looks like I have made it to the top. I think this is a water or something. Yeah, it is. Right on the edge of a lake. We'll put that there to signify this is us. Maybe I can get rid of the water here. What up, Spider? You friendly, my boy? I guess we might have lost the bees guy because that water is deadly. Dang, he is like persistent. I think he dipped. Whoa, what up, boy? Oh, and they're gone. Looks like we can see our home from here. Let's get back to the world of Eden and get some work done. Let's do it. Rising from the ashes. The water. We made it. We made it back to Eden. All right. I'm excited to get to work. We're going to go over here to the island of paradise, whatever we want to call it. And we are going to get to work. Look at all these old Bibles that I made out here. I think the only problem was it was KJV. So, I wish I could find some ESV. That'd be cool. Man, this brings back nostalgia. Dang, that was like 2 months ago. That's insane. All of our old buildings. Logan's flower. That's all I have to remember him by. He's not like gone, but he just hasn't played in a while. R.I.P. Logan. Kermit, what's up? I'm back. Let's get it. So I built a couple of blast furnaces here, and essentially all of these raw copper will be automatically smelted inside of our blast furnaces here, and that way we can quickly, yeah, have all of our copper. So I'm thinking I want to implement some of this copper into the newest build. I don't think I have any more copper. I'm just kind of checking right now. I'm going to have to unload some of this. And then included here, I could add all of this iron so we can smelt it to go ahead and be prepped and ready. So let's get over here and see what we're going to build. Man, I just think walking over this bridge through here into this feels so special. Like, the whole village aesthetic looks so cool. So let me tell you all my thoughts, okay? So over here, I want this side to kind of be open so we can see the sun set. So I like just like small buildings over here maybe. But I placed these wood like beams right here because I'm thinking like I would like a port to go here and possibly here. Like, what I mean by port is like a dock and some boats and a ship and stuff like that coming out into the ocean. I think that would be super cool. But with that said, there's some space that I would like to fill in. And I guess some of that space would be like this little corner here and this corner over here. And I don't know about this. I may keep this open, but I may like put a house behind here. Just something cool. So we're going to have to decide what we're going to do with that, because I would like to go to the Nether sometime this week. I feel like there's things that we need in the Nether, and so I got to kind of determine what is most important right now and how we can, you know, the order of events that we can go about here. Because once we go to the Nether, if we somehow find a fortress soon, I would like to start curing villagers and bringing them into this villager paradise. That way that we can have better trades and stuff like that. So that's kind of my whole plan. But I want this place to be ready for those villagers. So I think I have a plan today. Oi! I'm over here getting sandstone for the build, and you guys show up. I thought I told you guys to scram. I guess you're going to learn the hard way. Oh yeah, you're turning on each other, shooting each other in the back. Yes. You're going to learn the hard way that if you come around paradise, you're going to get clowned on. And that's exactly what's happened. Peace out, pillagers. Well, you guys have figured out I was going to get sandstone. It's going to be a little bit more of a sandstone build for this one. Let's see if I can make it over there without even looking at the camera. I figured out... Oh, I missed the bridge. One moment. I figured out where I want the build. It's going to be right here. I'm going to build this. This might be the closest it gets to the water. I just want it to feel like a square of sorts. Something's going to be over there. I'd rather that side be open. And we're going to build some smaller houses right here. But right here, I want there to be another tall building. Or taller building that matches the other side a good bit. So we're going to start building this up. I have to go cook some of this sandstone to make smooth stone. Eventually, we're going to replace that sand with it. Oh, look, we got some right there. So I might cook it with some wood here, if we have any wood. Because I don't really have much coal right now, sadly. We'll just cook as much as we can. And for the purpose of this build, we'll get started. Alright, so we have been going through the entire Bible, chapter by chapter together. Pretty cool stuff. We've been reading about the life of Isaac and his sons Jacob and Esau. Jacob is the youngest, and he deceives his father into receiving the birthright. And so now we're seeing Jacob grow up. He's kind of left the home. And today we're going to see how, in a little bit of irony, he gets deceived himself. Because remember, Jacob deceived his brother and his father to receive the birthright. So this is what we see in chapter 29. It says Jacob arrives at Padan Aram. Then Jacob hurried on, finally arriving in the land of the east. He saw a well in the distance. 3 flocks of sheep and goats lay in the open field beside it, waiting to be watered, but a heavy stone covered the mouth of the well. It was a custom there to wait for all the flocks to arrive before removing the stone and watering the animals. Afterward, the stone would be placed back over the mouth of the well. Jacob went over to the sheep herds and asked, "Where are you from, my friends?" "We are from Haran," they answered. "Do you know a man there named Laban, the grandson of Nahor?" he asked. "Yes, we do," they replied. "Is he doing well?" Jacob asked. "Yes, he is." "Yes, he's well," they answered. "Look, here comes his daughter Rachel with the flock now." Jacob said, "Look, it's still broad daylight, too early to round up the animals. Why don't you water the sheep and goats so they can get back into the pasture?" "We can't water the animals until all the flocks have arrived," they replied. Then the shepherds moved the stone from the mouth of the well, and we water all the sheep and the goat. Jacob was still talking with them when Rachel arrived with her father's flock, for she was a shepherd. And because Rachel was his cousin, the daughter of Laban, his mother's brother, and because the sheep and the goats belonged to his uncle Laban, Jacob went over to the well and moved the stone from its mouth and waters his uncle's flock. Then Jacob kissed Rachel, and he wept aloud. He explained to Rachel that he was her cousin on her father's side, the son of her aunt Rebekah. So Rachel quickly ran and told her father Laban. As soon as Laban heard that his nephew Jacob had arrived, he ran out to meet him. He embraced and kissed him and brought him home. When Jacob had told him his story, Laban exclaimed, "You really are my own flesh and blood." Jacob marries Leah and Rachel. So after Jacob had stayed with Laban for about a month, Laban said to him, "You shouldn't work for me without pay just because we are relatives. Tell me how much your wages should be." Now Laban had 2 daughters. The older daughter was named Leah, and the younger one was Rachel. There was no sparkle in Leah's eyes, but Rachel had a beautiful figure and a lovely face. Since Jacob was in love with Rachel, he told her father, "I'll work for you for 7 years if you give me Rachel, your younger daughter, as my wife." "Agreed," Laban replied. "I'd rather give her to you than anyone else. Stay and work with me." So Jacob worked 7 years to pay for Rachel, but his love for her was so strong that it seemed to him but a few days. Oh, how sweet. Finally, the time came for him to marry her. "I have fulfilled my agreement," Jacob said to Laban. "Now give me my wife so I can sleep with her." So Laban invited everyone in the neighborhood and prepared a wedding feast. But that night, when it was dark, Laban took Leah to Jacob, and he slept with her. Laban had given Leah a servant, Zelpha, to be her maid. But when Jacob woke up in the morning, it was Leah. "What have you done to me?" Jacob raged at Laban. "I worked 7 years for Rachel. Why have you tricked me?" "It's not our custom here to marry off a younger daughter ahead of the firstborn," Laban replied. "But wait until the bridal week is over, then we'll give you Rachel too, provided you promise to work another 7 years for me." So Jacob agreed to work 7 more years. A week after Jacob had married Leah, Laban gave him Rachel too. Laban gave Rachel a servant, Bilhah, to be her maid. So Jacob slept with Rachel too, and he loved her much more than Leah. He then stayed and worked for Laban the additional 7 years. This is a mess. It's a mess. When the Lord saw that Leah was unloved, he enabled her to have children. Poor Leah. But Rachel could not conceive. So Leah became pregnant and gave birth to a son. She named him Reuben, for she said, "The Lord has noticed my misery, and now my husband will love me." She soon became pregnant again and gave birth to another son. She named him Simeon, for she said, "The Lord heard that I was unloved and has given me another son." Then she became pregnant with a third time and gave birth to another son. His name was Levi, for she said, "Surely this time my husband will feel affection for me, since I have given him 3 sons." Once again, Leah became pregnant and gave birth to another son. She named him Judah, for she said, "Now I will praise the Lord." And then she stopped having children. So this is a messy story. It is. It's a messy story. But there's a lot of things that we can learn from this. First of all, there's irony in this. The deceiver Jacob got deceived by Laban. And I think there's some sweet irony in this. The deceiver gets deceived. And we see how humanity has kind of seeped into this cycle of brokenness where people are deceiving each other for the sake of work, for the sake of, I don't know. Also, the father may have wanted Leah to have a husband, right? I don't think this was a good move by Laban at all, and this was a sin in all forms and fashions. Whenever the Bible talks about someone marrying multiple people, it is not a prescription; it is a description of what's happened. Every time this happens, mess always happens, right? This happened with Abraham blanking on his wife, but Sarah. It happened with them. Now it's happening with Jacob here, because he's disrespecting Leah. And we also see that God sees this, right? God sees the unloved wife, and we see that God opens up her womb instead of Rachel's because of his love for her. And so we kind of see a little bit of that, but also we see a lot about what idolization can do. As great as it is, I think it's awesome. That I think love is awesome, but it seems like Jacob was infatuated really with Rachel's appearance, and this romantic love led to a 14-year debt to Laban. To me, I think that's toxic. It's loyal, right? It's loyal, it's committed, but also I think it's toxic and unnecessary, and it created this competitive household, right? And so when you look at Leah, like, she was trying to find her validation in her husband. And so every time she named one of her sons, she was hoping that her husband would finally love her. We just see that wasn't the case. And that's super sad. When we idolize any other thing besides honoring and loving God, then it crashes and burns. So that's Genesis chapter 29. A lot of things we can learn. I'm excited to keep moving forward. So let's get back into some Minecraft. Okay, so the majority of the rest of this video is going to be building this entire little space here. And I've actually learned from watching some other Minecraft YouTubers to just start off with a basic palette, build the outside of the shell, and then texturize it. That way that, like, I think it's more efficient and it's quicker to do that. And then also it kind of gives you a good idea of what the build looks like in general. So we're going to do that first. So this is going to be, I calculated it, 9, 10, 12, 13, about a 16 block high tall building, which is a pretty high building. And it's going to go 4 up here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is going to go up. Guys, I think we're like 1 subscriber away from 900 subscribers. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit it right now. Right now, and you could be the 900th subscriber and join us on our quests. That'd be so fun. So this is coming up here. Love it. Oh, we're kind of out of smooth here. Smooth stone. We're just gonna have to build with another block, I believe. All right, so I'm gonna build this layer. Again, what are these things? What are these things? I know this is a new to update. Are they squid? Like, are they a different version of... They have a shell, so they're not a squid, right? I have no clue what they are. Burning all this sandstone. Oh, that's silk touch. I remember that I have a lot of this coal in the river here. So this will help me cook it a little bit faster. And I should get a good bit, even with this Fortune 3 pickaxe. Praise God for Fortune 3 pickaxe. The best pickaxe in the game. We love it. Don't we love some Fortune 3? Enchants feel awesome. That curse couldn't deal with us anymore. Okay, so we're building on top of this. We're going to go up 9 blocks. So it's going to be pretty tall. 9 blocks on this side. And then actually 11 blocks on the other. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then 11 on this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It may be less than that once we get up here, but it's going to be 11 at least to the top. So this is going to be probably the largest of the builds here. It's going to about be even with that other side. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And there's going to be a roof on top. About this size, so it's gonna be a pretty big build. 7, 8, 9. Okay, so we're gonna fill this in, and then we're gonna maybe texture or maybe work on the roof. All right, I don't think I'm gonna have enough to completely. Oh no, that's about good enough right here. All right, so this sticks out like a sore thumb right now, like just a big block of nothing. But again, we gotta texture it, And I think I want to put the roof on it just so we can have a better like feel for it. I don't know. I get worried when it just looks like this. So let's see if I can put a roof on it real quick. Wow. Okay, I learned something new. You can actually make clay blocks and then smelt them for terracotta. And I'm wanting to make a brick roof, but I was thinking like I want something like that looks like brick, but it's not. What am I doing? I'm trying to get some of this to make some fuel. And so I wanted something that, you know, that looks like brick, because I'm making this palette right down here. And check this out. This is terracotta. Oh my gosh, that looks so good. And that goes so well with this brick color. That is so cool. I thought you had to go find one of those biomes that has terracotta to get it, but no, you could just do that. And so I'm assuming, can you also just like dye it? Do you dye this, or like what's the move there? So let's take this. Can you put this into here and dye it, or no? Okay, that doesn't work, obviously. I don't know. It's cool. This terracotta block is very, very nice. I do like it. We're going to take this over here and cook it. So, all right, we're about to get to moving. So here's the thing. I think I definitely made it way... The corners make it look way bigger than what it's actually going to look like. I'm actually going to be cutting off the corners to make the roof a little bit like this. But anyways, the roof still helps us to build it anyway. So I'm not ashamed that we made it like this. So let's build something like this here. Do we have any? We'll just do a slab here, and then maybe this here. All right, so it's going to be cut down to this level right here. So it'll make it look a little smaller. That's going to be the level. Yeah. And it's not going to go all the way down, because the other side's going to be a little bit taller. As you can see, I made it look a little taller. It's going to go up just a little bit. But this is kind of the curvature of this side, and then there's going to be another on that side. Okay, so this is kind of the shape of the roof. And then it's going to come all the way across, and then there's going to be a section that goes up just a little bit to give it some just different look here. So I think I'm going to build that out, at least up here to the corner, just to see how that looks. Okay, so filling out all of this back here. You see that it's going to have a little bit of a new roof going up halfway up. Whereas down here, this is eventually going to be torn down. And I think it's going to be a little patio right here. I think that's what I would like for it to be. But as you can see, the texture, this is the texture of the roof. I'm going to have this like kind of look to it. According to my reference image, because I do reference images and try to replicate some other builds. This build is by Sweetly_Starship. So shout out this person, whoever that is. And so it's not a tutorial video. I'm literally just looking at a picture here, but it's a really good build. I really do like it. And then this would go up one, and it's going to be like a whole new separate ceiling to this up here. So we'd have to get more clay blocks over here. But if you can look from this angle, you can see it start to take shape. Of course, this is going to look a lot better once we texture it. But the roof looks really good. The roof is what's going to stand out in this build, in my opinion. Let's see. Any brick. That's what we need. Brick there. We got that. Let's go up and kind of finish this build. I'm going to have to finish this video in just a moment. So we're gonna truck through the rest of the time together. So you have the andesite here, the brick, got that up here, and then you have two more levels that go up top here. We're gonna go ahead and remove this for now. those blocks up. So like, let's say we have a dirt block here. This comes out. One more, but we're gonna build that in just a moment. Let me think through this. Like this is gonna have that, and that'll be out here. That'll be here. Yes, this looks good. This looks super good. I may replace this with this block just to give it some texture on the outside. And if we're gonna build up, because that's the goal here, just see what it looks like. The center is gonna be the next piece, and so if we did do something like this, texture it, go to here, and then there's a chimney kind of where this little circle is right here, which, oh, I fell. Goodness. Here's a door. There's a chimney right there, which I may just put with some sandstone for now until we get the blocks, but it's made out of stone blocks. It's gonna be somewhat right here, like so. So this will be like a chimney right there, and then this is the center block. It should be so the top, and it's gonna be just a tad bit higher than the other. It looks like on the image it should be 2, so I'm wondering if I did this correctly. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. It should be on this third 1, 2, 3 level. Boom. You have a block here. You have the block here. You should have it be larger here, but it's not. Well, let's build it and look. Build it and look and see. Here. Of course, dirt. Let's do this outside edge. Okay, so it is a little taller, right there. Not sure if it's exactly like the reference image I'm looking at, which goes 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3. Sorry, I count and I see things that y'all don't see. Oh, we should hit 20 minutes. So we're going to have to end here in a second because I got to dip. Got to go start the day. But this might be a great stopping place. Like if y'all can see, this is kind of the shape of the building. And we're going to build this out, texturize the bottom here. There's going to be little windows, some vines and some other things building out from this. I'm gonna do some thinking about the top, making sure that we got our dimensions correct. But like, look at it from this angle. I love the roof. That looks super cool, and it kind of matches with this side. So, for example, if you're looking this way, it kind of keeps that same look. Like, I didn't want to be too tall on one side and not tall on the other. I kind of want it to be encircled, like this marketplace encircled by these big towers and big buildings. Of course, we're gonna build something here. And opened to like the beach area over here. So a large encirclement, and then it's open. So I want this just to feel closed. That's why I think this tall building gives it that effect here. And plus, look at all this room. This room is going to be, it's like a big square room, and I think this is going to be where a lot of the villagers stay. This may even be like the hotel, you know, that a lot of the different random villagers stay, at least until we build them a home or something like that. So okay, well, tomorrow in the next video, we will do some more building and etching away on this. I aim to hopefully be going to the Nether sometime the end of this week, and we got to determine where and how we're going to build the Nether portal. That's going to be cool. So we are in the Renaissance, just a reminder, doing all these wonderful things. Pretty cool, and we're getting to a lot of this. This has been the biggest part of this. We've kind of been touching on a lot of this other stuff, but the Renaissance is underway. We're almost at 900 subscribers. If you want to see the Spin of Sin spun, then click that subscribe button. I will see y'all on the next one, and goodbye.